Hello everyone, Pixar back with a review for you guys. Everyone, here's my first movie review back since I made a return to YouTube, so... Sorry I was a little late for this review, I might be a little bit busy, but nevertheless, I was going to do a review for you guys, and I'm going to be doing it right now, so... Everyone, I have seen a couple movies recently in theaters that I want to give my thoughts on them, and my reaction video to Mulan, I gave hints it was an animated movie I recently seen in theaters, and, well, everyone, the movie is, is kind of Disney related, but it's made by Pixar, but one of the studios at Disney owns there, but, everyone, everyone should be no surprise, for Pixar, saw the fourth installment of their most well-known franchise, Toy Story 4. Now, everyone, I have, big nostalgia for Toy Story films. Toy Story 1 and 2 were some of the most nostalgic films growing up, and Toy Story 3, I thought it was a perfect ending to the franchise, and, and if I had to make a list of my all-time favorite animated movies, Toy Story 3 would definitely be up there, because it's just that good of a film there, But... Everyone, in case you all haven't been keep up with the news and movies, for a while now, Pixar announced that they were going to make a Toy Story 4, and no one, up until, early this year, late last year, whatever, I can't remember, whenever the first trailer was released, no one necessarily knew what the film was going to be like, but then we started to see some stuff about the film and stuff like that, and it gave people an idea what the film was going to be about and stuff like that, although there were a good number of people walking with skepticism whether this was going to be a good film or not, because, a lot of people, including myself, felt like that the third film was the perfect anthem for the franchise. Andy and the toys off the body, we as friends are with a new kid. It was basically kind of like the end of an era for, that's Toy Story films, so that, it was perfect ending for it, so that, so. But there were people who worked on the film, such as Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, said it's going to be a great film, it's going to be very emotional near the end, stuff like that. Sorry, I actually published something there, but anyways, so the film's been out for a little while in theaters, and so far the reception has been pretty good there. Been pretty good for the film, but as for my own, but what did I think of the film? Did I think that, that it's okay for, for the Toy Story film to have the fourth franchise, or they should have stuck to the 3? Well, let's find out. Here's my review for Toy Story 3, everybody. So, sorry, Toy Story 4. Sorry, I'm brain fart there. Anyway, a Toy Story 4 review. For those of you who are familiar from our reviews, basically, how they go is I usually do a plot summary of the film and give my general thoughts, then give my final verdict at the end of it, stuff like that, so. So, everyone, the plot summary for, everyone if you have not seen Toy Story 4 yet, there may be some spoilers brought up in this review, so I do recommend you watch Toy Story 4 and get yourself familiar with the film and stuff like that before watching my review and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's get on with the review. So the plot for Toy Story 4, follows away his friends once again. However, and yeah, but things haven't been going well for what he's felt like he's been left out of different things, the group and stuff like that. Body's been ignoring him and stuff like that. He's having trouble, transitioning from being the head toy of the group from when he was with Andy to about being one of the group E's, if you know what I mean. But that all changes when Wade decides to go to although he snuck with Bonnie and for her first day of kindergarten. He snuck into her backpack and stuff like that. Bonnie wasn't doing that well, making new friends and stuff like that. And she was feeling lonely and stuff like that. So we decided to kind of help her out to get her some arts and crafts stuff, and so Bonnie made herself a toy. Well, the new character was a Forky, which is when some kids they make homemade toys and stuff like that. Bonnie did that. Spork, googly eyes, a little string thing, piece of plastic or something like that, and furry string things at the arms, and broke up lollipop sticks or feet. So that's our cough there, one. Always but then eventually Sporky comes to life, and we makes it his mission to make sure Sporky's there for Bonnie there. For Bonnie there and stuff like that. And then, not too long after that, the family decides to go on Bonnie and her family decide to go on a trip there, and the toys are brought along, but during the trip, Sporky accidentally ends up leaving the RV there. So we'll jump out of the RV literally, as we has to go find him and bring him back to Bonnie there. So we eventually catch up to Forky. Forky. Sorry, when I keep getting the names mixed up there. Forky there, my bad. But anyways, Forky decided to go back to the RV, but then they lost his carnival and an antique shop there, and we have said something familiar about the workshop there, about the sorry, my bad. I apologize, everyone. We noticed something familiar in the antique shop, Bo Peep's lamp, which I'll get to that in a bit there, and then he meets some toy doll named Gabby, who has a broken voice box, and she's looking to take. She wants to take Whee's voice box there. Wee ends up escaping, but Forky ends up taking. And Wee tries to find his way back into the antique shop there. All along the way, he meets Bo Peep. First time in 9 years. Since she left Andy's house there. Which I'll get back to that in a bit, everybody. Alright. When the film started, everybody, there was a little bit of a flashback scene what happened to Bo Peep. Apparently, she was taken to a new family when Andy's little sister no longer wanted her. Listen. And we try rescuing Bo Peep and the sheep, but Bo Peep said it was gonna be fine, stuff like that. And so we ended up going Bo Peep and stuff like that. So Bo Peep ends up deciding to help Woody to get back to the antique shop and rescue Forky. So Forky and Buzz eventually joins up after waiting a while, but he didn't respond, so that. So, and that's all the details I give about the plot without going to super spoiler territory there. So, I might break them up here a little bit, as a couple of spoilers in this review, but we're gonna try to keep this review as spoiler-free as possible, so... Everyone's starting coughing there and stuff like that, but... Yeah, as for my own thoughts of now that it was a plot summary about general thoughts of the film... Now, I will say I had a really good time watching this film, everybody, but... I mean... Of course, you know, stay to point out the animation... You know, Pixar, you know, they keep pushing the boundaries of how well they make their animation, stuff like that, you know. And in terms of the toys, if the human characters weren't, you know, there and stuff like that, you could believe that they looked real and stuff like that. You could believe that they looked real, the toys looked real and stuff like that, you know. So. And of course, the story itself, was very well told, and definitely got very emotional in the end, stuff like that. Definitely got very emotional in the end, stuff like that. So, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks were right about it being an emotional film, latter end of the film, everybody, so. So I want to bring a box of tissues. With you there. But and of course, it was nice to see all the characters from the previous films again. They're still the same charming, lovable characters from the previous films. It was good to see Bo Peep return after, you know, literally about 20 years since the last time we saw her in a Toy Story film. And the new characters, I thought they were enjoyable. The new characters were very enjoyable, everybody, and they definitely had a good number of the funny moments in the film, especially the duck and the rabbit characters. Oh man, oh man, I remember some of the funny stuff they did in the film there. You know, so they were all the other Toy Story films did have their funny moments. Comedy wise, I will say that Toy Story 4 was definitely the strongest in my opinion compared to other Toy Story films in terms of comedy. So because there were a bunch of moments in the film where there were a bunch of funny moments in this film, everybody, and I'll definitely get chuckle out of you and stuff like that. So prepare for a lot of laughs to happen in this film, everybody. But anyway, even though I do have a lot of positive things to say about the film, there are also a couple of negative things I do have to say about this film. One of them, which I'm about to get to here a bit about here right now. They're not really major negatives for the film for me, but they're not really too big negative things to say about the film. In fact, they don't affect my overall experience with the film or anything like that. But with that being said, you have a couple of issues with the film. Now, the first issue I have with the film is that the other OG characters, for Toy Story about the previous 3 films, but a lot of them get sidelined in the film there. Now, I know that they did play, they weren't the main focuses of the previous films, but in the previous films, they had a role to play in terms of story and, you know, the things they do and stuff like that. You know. But, this film, they, a lot of time, the original characters and the toys that were introduced in Toy Story 3, Blaze toys, they were just basically staying at the sidelines there, and a lot of the spotlight was shined on Woody, Buzz, Bo Peep, and the new characters. Now, We Buzz Bo Peep, I perfectly understand because they're the main three characters focused on the film. Well, except for me, Sporky, who's probably Forky. Sorry, I did it again. Sorry, it was probably the fourth main focus of the film, character-wise, you know. But even though the moments with the new characters were very enjoyable, they were very entertaining, likable characters, I thought that they could have balanced things out more in terms of which character they got more focused on, stuff like that. You know, like I said, a lot of the time, the other toys that were in the other previous films, they're kind of regulated for the sideline until the final portion of the film and stuff like that. So now, the other big thing I would point out in the film, which I've heard, which I didn't really think about much until I saw other people's reviews of Toy Story 4, and that's, Bonnie. Now, I wouldn't say she a bad character, but a lot of people, I saw in different reviews, a lot of people point out how odd it was for Bonnie went from, liking Woody and stuff like that to completely ignore him, I mean, the reason, Bonnie was introduced, to Woody and the other toys, was because she found Woody at the daycare, and she seemed to really like playing with Woody and stuff like that in Toy Story 3, but in this film, she acts like he's not even there, which, it's just kind of, other people bring up as a kind of a plot hole and stuff like that. I can understand where they're coming from there, kind of hurts Bonnie's character, kind of hurts Bonnie's character, where it seems like she's a kid that, she's only interested, for toys for a certain amount of time, and then she moves on to the next thing she's interested in, too, and stuff like that. I know there are kids like that, everybody, but in real life, stuff like that, but it's like I've heard some other people say their reviews of, this definitely did hurt Bonnie's character compared to how she was like. I mean, we compare what she was like in this film to how she was like in the previous films, so that, you know what I mean? I mean, she's still a good character, just, we can compare how she was acting in Toy Story 3 to Toy Story 4, kind of a plot hole that's going on, we don't really know why she ends up, completely ignoring Woody, whatever, the previous film, she seemed to really like playing with Woody and stuff like that. Kind of hurt her character, in my opinion, so. And the last thing I want to talk about is the ending of the film, which, before I continue, I don't have any problems with the ending itself, okay? That was a very well done ending for the franchise, a very well done ending for the film, and again, I ain't gonna spoil anything. I'm gonna try my best not to spoil what happened in the ending, stuff like that. But, I said, I don't have a problem with the ending itself. I thought it was very well done. It was emotional, like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks said, and I do feel like, it is a good way to wrap up the series. But with that being said, now this could be a part of me that's, this could be the part of me that, because, it could be the part of me, that, I am from the one that really enjoys Toy Story 3 so much, so that, but it's not just me, but a lot of other people, even after seeing the film, still consider Toy Story 3, in terms, if we had to compare which one would be the better ending of the two, franchise-wise, a lot of people have said that they still believe Toy Story 3 is the superior ending. It would have been a better ending for the franchise compared to Toy Story 4. Although Toy Story 4 does do a good job wrapping up the franchise, it just that, Toy Story 3 felt like that perfect conclusion for the franchise, if you know what I mean, everybody, For a lot of people bring it up, and I have to agree with them there, but the A for Toy Story 4 is still good, still a good way to wrap up the series, but I just don't know, but I still think the ending for Toy Story 3 is the better of the two endings, stuff like that, so. Now, I was kind of wraps up my final thought, wraps up my general thoughts and some final thoughts in the final version of my, so. And with overall, Toy Story 4, I thought it was a very enjoyable film, it was nice to see all the characters back, and I had a good time watching it, and the new characters were very enjoyable. It's a very entertaining film, emotional film, but it's kind of a similar boat to how Finding Dory was, It's a really enjoyable film, but it didn't have to be made, it's a film that, didn't have to be made, but, it's still a very enjoyable film in its own right, now. And compared to the other Toy Story films, I will say that, well, animation-wise, it's the best of the franchise, but, it still has a very strong story. It still has a very strong story. Very enjoyable film. But I still do think that the original 3 films are better than Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. But that don't mean that Toy Story 4 is a bad film. Everybody. There's a lot of people. Still, now even after seeing the 4th film, feel like Toy Story 3, wrapped up perfectly fine, there wasn't really much of a point having the 4th film, stuff like that, but, that being said, I ain't gotta say, it's a bad film or anything like that, I had a good time watching the film, everybody, even though the ending is not as good as it was in Toy Story 3, still was a good way to wrap the franchise, and like I said, I still think, it's a very enjoyable film, had very good plot, enjoyable characters, and, great animation, great humor, stuff like that, so, I do recommend you guys check it out if you have seen the other Toy Story films, or fan of animation films in general. I do recommend you see the first Toy Story films before seeing Toy Story 4, fully come up with the plot, stuff like that, but, start off there, boy, but, anyways, for my final verdict, for those of you who are new to my reviews, I usually have 5 rating scores, my highest one being a must-buy/must-watch, which goes to the best Forza team I've seen. Then there's the buy-ins rating, which would be the Forza Entertainment that would get the recommendation. Buy it or watch it rating, which is it goes on Forza Entertainment. They aren't necessarily the best, but still very enjoyable and good, in my opinion. Then there's the streaming/rated, which goes to the middle grade. Forza Entertainment. Then there's the ignored rating, which I don't think it's the worst, but I wouldn't recommend for people. And there's the lowest rating, which the Let It Burn rating, which goes to the worst forms of entertainment I've seen. That includes movies as well, so. Toy Story 4, I give it a buy-it/watch it rating. So, like I said, not as good as the previous films, and I guess, critical-wise, it is the weakest out of the films, but that don't mean it's a bad film, it's a bad film. Still a very good film in its own right. For something that, people weren't necessarily asking for, I ain't gotta complain, that, it should not have been made in the first place, so maybe. I thought it was a very enjoyable film, and nice to see all the characters again, and while the ending was not as good as the previous film, I do think it's a good way to wrap up the franchise. So if you all haven't seen Toy Story before you do recommend you check it out there. So anyway, that concludes my review for now, everybody. Review-wise, everyone, I'll be doing a review of the live-action Aladdin movie next. For movie review-wise, my next overall review will probably be, so I haven't done in a while, that's a review of wrestling pay-per-view. Next video-wise, everyone, it's gonna be, let me do another rant video, everybody. Although, it'll be on a very serious topic. That's a very serious situation that's been going on recently, stuff like that. But I'll get more into that whenever that video comes out. That's all for now, everybody. We all enjoyed the video here. So, that's all for now, everybody. Until next time, this is Herbeck signing out. Peace.